Okay, I want to show you how we can add these two fractions with unlike denominators, and we can use fraction tiles or fraction strips to show us how to find a common denominator. So this first fraction we have is 3/4, and then the second fraction we have is 5/6. So what kids can do to find the equivalent fractions is look for the line. So if I'm looking for any fraction that's equivalent to 1/2, then it's also going to be the same length from here to here as 1/2. So 1/2, I could have 2 1/4 or 2/4. That's the same thing as 1/2. Don't have any fifths that are the same as 1/2, but I do have 3/6 that are the same as 1/2. I can have 4/8. I could have 5/10. I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 12ths. So again, our first fraction is 3/4, and our second one is 5/6. So we're looking for a fraction with the denominator of a fourth, and is also compatible with the fraction of a sixth. I want to go to 1/4 first. I want to see, well, I can't use a fifth because it's not in any way equivalent to a fourth. Can't use 6. Oh, but I can use an eighth. So then now let me check, because see, 2 1/8 equals 1/4. So now I'm going to go over to 1/6. Well, I can't use an eighth there because there isn't an eighth or a combination of eighths that's going to be equivalent to 1/6. So let me go back to 1/4. Start over. We know a fifth doesn't work. We know any combination of 6 doesn't work, or eighths, or tenths. Now, eighth does, again, work with the fourth, but it's not going to work with the 6. So let's look at the 12ths. Oh, look. There is a line of equivalency. I can get 3 1/12ths, and that's the same thing as 1/4. So now I want to try that again with the 6, because remember, that's the denominator of my second fraction. Well, look at that. So 1/6 is the same thing as 2/12ths. So I notice that a 12th will work for, or a combination of 12ths will work for a fourth, and it'll work for a 6. So my common denominator between a fourth, and a 6 is a 12th. Now I can also use these fraction strips to find out without having to multiply, because again, I'm using 3/4, so that's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Well, how many 12ths are equivalent to 3/4? Let's count it out. So from here to here is the same thing as 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3/4 is the same thing as 9/12. Okay, and then we're going to go to 5/6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/1/6 is the same thing as 5/6. So now let's count that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10/12. Now again, we can show our kids, how do we get from 4 to 12? Well, we multiply by 3, and if we do that, because see, it takes 3 1/12ths to equal 1/4. So that's just, we're multiplying everything by 3, the denominator and the numerator. And then that's how we get 9/12ths. Well, it takes 2/12ths to equal 1/6. So again, we're multiplying everything by 2. And that's how we get this. But if you have some kids that are struggling with that multiplication, they can look at the fraction strips and find the equivalency there as well. So now we can add these together, and we get 19/12ths. And you can give the kids the fraction tiles, and they can count out to 19/12ths. And if we look at this, we can also see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12/12ths equals 1 whole. So how do I get 19 twelfths? Well, that's 12 twelfths plus 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, plus 7 more twelfths. So if this is 1 whole, then 19 twelfths would be 1 whole, 12 twelfths, and then 7 more twelfths. So we know we're telling them to divide how many times it's going to, but with the fraction strips, they can actually count them out. So I hope this helps with your strategies to help kids add fractions with unlike denominators. And then I know if you're thinking, hey, well, they can't use this on the test, we can gradually get them away from the colorful one, using a black and white one, to then giving them one that is not filled out completely. And then they can fill it out from here. So you can use that as your gradual progression into a supplemental aid here. All right, thanks for watching. Hope this helped.